go ahead and mute yourselves, please. I'll kind of start to mute you. We're going to get started in just a second. Oh, I can't hear her. Can you hear me now?
You're good now.
Perfect. We're going to get started in just a second. So good to see everyone. Thank you for registering, spending this time with me. If you are new here, if you have never been to one of my group readings, could you just, or if you're like brand new to me, can you just give me like a little wave so I definitely, hello, Sherry. Hi, Nicole, Ashley. Ashley, my new favorite person I just met online. It was amazing. Were you the one that I was just like texting back and forth with the other day? A little bit on the Facebook ad?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we're going to give just one more minute here and pop in. It's always fun just to see where everybody's from. Pop in the chat if you know how to work the Zoom chat. Just like, where are you in the world? I would love to hear and see, where are you in the world? I'm in Minnesota. Oh, you're in Shakopee? I'm in Prior Lake. That's awesome. I did not know that. You were so close.
We live super close. We can meet in
Yeah,
person,
like
actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're like 5 minutes apart.
I know. I'm actually heading that way soon. So yes.
Canada. Canada. Fun fact about me, I was actually born in Canada, but never lived in Canada. It was like the closest hospital for my mom. So I was like born there and got dual citizenship there and had like a pain in the ass for basically my entire life because of it. Because we actually lived in the United States, but I think at one point I had to like declare, like I had dual citizenship for a long time and I had to declare, like decide what I wanted to say. I was born in Fort Frances, Ontario. Is that close to you?
That is a small town.
Yeah. That's
Very,
so
very rural.
my parents lived in International Falls, which is like basically right across the border kind of thing. So just a dumb fun fact. One of those like icebreaker things, like I'm actually Canadian. All right, ladies. Well, again, thank you so much for if you're new here, if you're an OG and you've been with me. I've hosted these throughout the years. I've had my business for almost 10 years, and this has been an integral piece of how I love to bring new women into my community. So I just want to welcome you. And please know, like everything that comes up during this call, yes, it is recorded. Yes, the replay will go out. But I also attract an amazing tribe of like everything that is said here stays here. It's like Vegas, it's sacred, because there will be things that come up for different individuals as I go around the room and start kind of reading. So I do always like to kind of bring that up. I am Amber Annette. Most of you have come in you've been on my list, you've been in my audience and in my community for a while, or you've come in probably from my Facebook ad or Instagram ad that I'm running. So I would just like to welcome you. I have been a psychic business coach for about 10 years. I started off at my kitchen table doing readings, trying to uncover and understand this gift of psychic mediumship, and very quickly fell in love with just being able to blend that along with my love of entrepreneurship and business, and have just been super blessed and feel so grateful that I've been able to be in this gift for other spiritual women in business for almost 10 years. It's just been an incredible ride, quite the roller coaster, as most of you with a business know. And I'm excited to share this gift with you today. So So that's a little bit about me. Erin, you will see up in the corner with the gorgeous, luscious red hair is my fabulous assistant. She is here to help you with any tech things that could show up along the way for us today. So you're trying to raise your little digital hand and can't figure it out, Erin's got you. You need to book a session with me. You have a question, any of those kinds of things, you can either pop it in the chat for the group or just message Erin privately in the chat message, and she's got your back. And let's give a round of applause to her, because literally without her, like all the tech, all the links, all the emails, all the things would not be going out. Believe me, that is, I know what my gifts are, and that is not one of them. My gift is to write it. Her gift is to set it all up and make all the tech side happen for us. So appreciative of her. What you can kind of expect from this call if you've never been on one of these groups. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. At some point, I hope to channel like a bigger message for the collective, something, really kind of wrapping up 2023 for us, giving us some insight to what's coming for 2024. But I can tell you already that that's probably going to be a very minimal part of this call, because there are so many of you here that I want to be able to tap into your business and bring forward some wisdom and guidance on what's next for you and your specific business. At the end of this, I'm going to talk a little bit about my brand new experience that I have, the Lightworker Lab. I will give an invitation for those of you that feel called to step into something and have more support with me going forward. I think it's also, even if you're in a space where you're not ready to work with a coach, you're not ready to advance, grow your business, I invite you to stay to just listen to how I sell. If there's anything I think that I have learned about spiritual women in business, it's that this is the part that gets the most uncomfortable for us. This is the part that, if I could wave a magic wand for each and every one of you, it would be able to give you as much love for selling as you have for your gift. Because I can tell you that is the integral piece to success, is being able to feel comfortable and confident, not just sharing your gift with the world, but telling people how they can work with you. So even if here's the thing that'll show up. You might be triggered during this call. Hands down, there will be probably a moment where somebody comes forward. You might, lots of energy is going to come up for you. And I invite you to sit with that. You might have tears. A lot of people are like, I don't know why, but just when I'm around you, I cry. That is also like a great thing. It's your body telling you something. And then the third thing might be, I call them truth bumps, where you just like get these, they're like these boosts. They're like little activations. They really are. When those truth bumps come forward, and to pay attention. So those three things will definitely come forward. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how, if you are loving the energy here and you're loving the strategy and the creativity and the community, how we can continue on that journey together. So ready? So my end always looks different as like the administrator, but there is a way for you to raise your little digital hand that tells me you are open, you are ready for me to like tap into your business. You're like, put me in the hot seat, sister. So I don't know how to do it, because Jamie Joy has figured it out, and 4 others. So you guys are already way ahead of the game. Perfect. All right. Look at all those hands. I love it. I love it. All right. So I'm going to tap in and we're going to get going here. And in no particular way, I'm just going to like start kind of. Well, Jamie, I feel like since you were the first one, like in here, you were the first one in the Zoom, you were the first one to raise your hand. I mean, I feel like it's only right that you go forward. So come forward and tell us a little bit about you, about your business, and let me tap in, sister.
Hello. Well, first of all, I'm usually booked at this time, and today there was a space. I was like, yay. So I'm glad to be here.
We're happy.
For the last 21 years, have helped people heal from chronic illness into wellness and chronic pain and diseases and things like that. About a year and a couple of months ago, since 2020, I started posting things about what's going on in the world, insights. I'm highly intuitive. I have all the abilities, et cetera, et cetera. And Facebook started flagging me and all these things. Well, they shut down my profile, and I also lost my business page.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
I had 40,000 followers. So I had a really
Wow.
lucrative business, but I don't have an assistant and I'm a horrible business person. So I didn't have a mailing list or any of those things. I
Oh,
worked
no.
primarily from Facebook. So last year I had to start all over again, and Facebook is very different. And the way I built my business in 2010, very different than what is now. So I've gone through, I wouldn't call it hardship because the universe has my back, but I bought a farm and I have 6 horses. I have 5 children, la, 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 la. And my business always supported me financially. And it's been really rough since that happened. And I'm rebuilding, but it's been really rocky. And I find myself frequently, which is so unlike me, I feel like closing
Mm.
and going back into the
Mhm.
workforce. But the problem is I have
Mhm.
children who require me. And I've worked from home forever. And so I'm just really struggling. And I feel like there's some weird, like, just energy, like that
Yeah.
is
Okay.
making me. I used to be super bubbly. I still contribute to people amazingly, but I'm just different. And I
Yeah.
want to get my juju back, whatever that is. So,
Okay. So a couple
yeah.
of things. So from the business strategy side of things, I am so sorry that that happened.
Yeah.
For those of you that have been with me for a long time, you've heard me say, like, this is the reason, this is one of the core reasons why it's so important to have a very
Mailing
diversified
list.
marketing, a
Mhm.
diversified marketing strategy in general, right? Like, Facebook is an incredible platform, but just like that, it can be taken. Where having that email list that you are always, you get to own that and you get to control that. So if you haven't started setting that up, I would definitely say hands down do that. The other
Okay.
thing that I'm hearing for you is I feel like there is this part of you that thinks it's going to take a long time to build back what you had. And even though 40,000 followers, and I want everybody to hear this, this is for you and for everybody. Even though 40,000 followers might seem like a lot, that doesn't mean that you had 40,000 customers, paying customers, right? And
Mhm.
so there's a big difference between having a follower and having a soul client. And so where that number seems really big and, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get back to that? That's not the number that we really want to get back to. The number that's important for you is that amount of income that gives you that. I mean, how many of you just like, oh, like if I just had 5,000 coming in, oh, if I just had 10,000 coming up, whatever that amount is for you, I don't call it baseline, I call it breath line income because it gives you that breath of fresh air, of relief of going, God, that would feel so great. So that's the number that's important, not that 40,000. Now, to get there, the best news is it doesn't have to take as long as it took you to grow your Facebook page to 40,000 followers because you are absolutely right. To get your page to 40,000 followers organically right now in the situation that Facebook is, it would, I don't even, I mean, I don't even know that like Jesus himself could do that. Like, honestly, like I am here to tell you, it just doesn't happen organically like it did back in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. So with that, let that bring you some relief. What we are looking for is a way for you to generate income, not followers. That's just not what's important. I have a very excuse me, to me, I have, even in comparison to 40,000, I think I have like maybe 3,400 people that follow me on Facebook, and I have a multi six-figure business. So it doesn't have to take that many people to get you to where you want to be. So my first invitation to you is get very clear, and this is for you and again for everybody, get super clear on what is that amount that you desire to generate on a monthly business or on a monthly basis.
Well,
And then number
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Just real quick,
okay.
just a little thing that I want to get clarity on. I am paying my bills. But I'm now hustling and constantly online. My overhead is about 5,000 and I am doing that, but now I'm doing that constantly on my phone, constantly answering, constantly sending invoices, constantly marketing, constantly. I don't have time for anything else. And even
It sounds
on
to
my
me,
day,
so
yeah, it used
the
to
next thing that
flow.
I was gonna
It
say
used to
is
flow. People used to contact me. That's not how it works anymore.
yeah, it also feels to me like a restructure of services is in order. So the way
Mhm.
that you used to do business needs to shift. The way that you see clients, the way that you invoice, the way that you market. Having a revamp of that is a great thing. And if I were you, I would start by definitely looking at the structure of your services in the way that you work with people. So I don't know if you right now do individual sessions or packages or how that
Yeah,
works.
I'm boutique now because I used with all of the people I used to have before I got shut down, I could do group healing and do
Yeah.
really well. My VIP program, the group one had 20 to 50 people in it, and then I would make all the money I needed for the entire month. I still put up group offers, but they don't sell. So I
Yeah.
do 30-day
Have you started
offers.
building have you started building the email list at all yet?
No, I have that written down. I have that available in my webpage, but I don't use it. Like I said, I'm horrible at the business part. But there isn't right now,
How
there
about this?
isn't extra
Change
money to
it.
hire anybody.
Change it also to I'm getting better at business.
Yeah. All right.
I'm
Okay,
getting
yeah.
better at business. Because here's the thing I'm going to tell you, and again, everybody, and if you guys are seeing a theme, even if you're not in the hot seat, there's something that you're going to get from this,
Mhm.
right? And I said it at the beginning. The reason I've been able to have the business that I have, I feel very grateful that I love sales and marketing. And when you can love sales and love marketing as much as you love bringing that gift to the world, you are going to have more success than you could ever freaking imagine. So
Oh, I
even
like
if you
that.
don't feel that way now, I invite all of you to really fall in love with what selling and marketing actually means, which is relationship building, which
That's oh
means
my God,
getting
yeah.
to know who you want to serve on such an intimate level that you feel called and compelled to invite them to come and work with you. That is how we put our gifts out into the world. It just is. Back however many years ago when there were witches and psychics and all the things, right? Like it had to be like this underground tunnel, or you had to do it by referral, or you had to do it by trade. Now we do it by selling and by in the online space. Business
Mhm.
is meant to evolve. You're being asked to evolve with this. Once you get this, you're going to be back to like I
No, I love
you're
that.
going to be back.
Yeah.
Okay?
I really like that. Yeah, because I
Would love to
have been
connect with you
feeling a
further
little,
too.
yeah. Yeah, thank you. I like the way you put that at the end.
Good.
Like,
Good,
yeah,
good.
thank you.
You're so welcome. Looking forward to connecting. Let's see. Julie Solomon, you're calling to me. Come
Hi,
forward.
nice to meet
Hi,
you.
nice.
I love your
So
energy.
nice to. Oh, thank you. So tell me about you. Tell me about your business.
So I'm based in New York, Long Island, New York, and I've had my staffing firm for 16 years. We're a woman minority certified New York City and New York State staffing firm. So business definitely I can relate to what Jamie was saying because for myself, I always got business. I didn't even have to pick up the phone. It just came to me. Um, we are going after a lot of like RFPs now to get more government contracts. That's why we became
Sure.
certified. But as far as regular business, it definitely has changed. So I really related to what Jamie was saying because I feel like I'm going through that same type of
Is this and
shift.
is it your business? Yes.
Yes, I have a partner. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So the first, okay. So, and there's a lot of people in here and there's a lot of energy around this. So my first question, and this is for you on a personal level, not even on a business level, is there anything that has happened with you and your mom that would cause anything for you going on personally?
Well, my
Is
mom,
that for you?
well, she passed away almost 6 years ago.
Okay. But the business, okay. So first of all, I have your mom. I can feel her so strongly around you. There's like, I even like, you can see, I don't know if you can see my notes. I had like, as you were talking, I wrote down mom. So just know your mom is with you. I feel her so strongly. I don't know if you feel it, but I'm like full of truth bumps. All you feel it? Okay. So, I'm like covered. So just know, like, she just she just wanted to step forward here for you. She just wanted you to know she's with you. She is such a strong light for you. And I don't know if at one point you and her were very close and you would go to her. You would just go to
Mhm.
her all the time. And she still hears you. She just wants you to know she still hears you and like she's with you. And this is just a bump. No, she says it's not a bump. This is a fork in the road for you. You have a decision that is like going to need to be made here about this business. I feel like you don't, she's telling me, like, you just don't love it the way you used to love it. It feels like a job, not the business you started with the passion that you used to have. And I feel like there's something that you're actually more passionate about, but you don't think that you can make money from that. That's what I want to hear about.
I don't know. I'm trying to find out what my other passions
Yeah.
are actually. So
I
I'm trying
think
to explore that.
I think so when she's telling me like you've lost your like love of business, does that match for you? Like your
Yes.
love of this type? Yeah. It just feels like it's been really drained out of you and burnt
Mhm.
out of you. She says just burnout, just pure burnout.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and yet the bills continue, the business needs continue. Um, so instead of giving you a strategy here, this is really about you kind of giving yourself some sacred space to think about what are you passionate about when it comes to these women, helping them, serving them, guiding them. I mean, if you think about it, like you are the liaison between her and her purpose, by getting her in the right job, by getting her in the right calling. Like that's a sacred like role that you have. And I think it's just a matter of like looking at it through a new lens instead of the lens of burnout and instead of the lens of like, man, business used to be really hard and or business used to be really good. Now business is really hard. I think this is really a matter of you finding a way to fall back in love with business. And that's going to come from looking at your business in a totally different perspective. This also, I feel like there's going to be something that shifts probably after today. Something is really going to activate inside of you around adding a level of like almost like coaching and self development for these women before they enter back into the workforce or while they're waiting for their spot to land or while you're like out looking for the right role for them. I feel like there's a way within your company you have the ability to like nurture her, inspire her, and empower her while she's waiting, which is something probably, I don't know, I have never seen any other headhunting firm offer. And I feel like that's more for you than anything.
Hmm. Interesting.
It's
I,
that
I, I
falling back in love with business.
Wow. I started out my career that way as a social worker, and I was placing people in hospital with disabilities, increasing their self-esteem to get them back in the workforce. That's how I started my whole career. It's funny you said that.
Well, I'm
So,
psychic, so.
yes, you are.
So
Well, thank you so much.
let's think about how you can blend those together.
Mhm.
Think of business in a totally different way. Disrupt your schedule. And this is for you and for everybody. If you want something different, you got to do something different. You have to be something different. You have to think and feel different. Sometimes just going to my local coffee shop can bring on a completely different train of thought, ideas, energy, just from like getting out of my comfort zone of my home office. And just sometimes it's just something as simple as that. It
Okay.
gets you thinking and feeling and being different. Fall back in love with business.
Thank you.
Hey, Julie. Let's see. Dean with the super cool, funky glasses that I wish I could pull off. Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hello, my love. Thank you. Thank you for
Have
tapping
we
in
ever
for
met
me.
before? I don't think so.
And no, I've been following you for a while and getting a lot of great value out of your content. So I appreciate you. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. I appreciate hearing that. Well, thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Let's
Well,
hear it, sister.
okay, like you, Amber. So I am a spiritual intuitive medium. Have been doing that a long time, but sort of behind the scenes. And now I've come out and I'm ready to bring it out and have my calendar booked out. So with all the changes in Facebook and so forth, what is like, let's narrow it down, sister, to the point. What is going to be for me, the best marketing strategy that you could come up with for me
If
to get
I
me booked?
if I had to start, okay, so here's how I know this works. Look around this room. There's been 60 participants in and out already of it. And that is primarily from two things: paid advertising and having an email list of a community and audience that I absolutely freaking love and know to the core and consistently give value to and build connection and relationship to. So if you look at the online space right now, it is still, in my opinion, the most phenomenal place to have your business, hands down. You can be on whatever social media platforms call to you. I don't care if it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, doesn't matter. They're all the same. They really are all pretty much the same. But in addition, or I shouldn't say but, and in addition to that, have some type of paid advertisement that is bringing you leads. I don't care who you are, even leaders need leads. Anybody know Amy Porterfield? She just did a huge launch, huge like 8-figure launch, and spent so much money on leads. Denise Thomas Duffield, what is that called? The boot camp thing. Manifesting boot camp. I don't know what her boot camp thing. Huge launches, huge audience, huge customers, lots of buyers, lots of leads coming from paid advertising. All leaders need leads. And there are a ton of different ways that you can generate those leads, right? You could do in-person networking. You could do, you could go into Facebook groups. Like those are some like organic ways. Organic is going to take you a while. And what happens when you do that is it starts to kind of hurt your confidence. And this is what I see happen all the time. You finally get brave enough to put yourself out there, right? You're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start posting to Facebook and I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to do it. And then you do it and it's cricket. And then you start to really go, well, what the F, universe? You told me to go be in this gift. I did what I was asked. I'm here to serve. And now I have no clients to serve. And that is really heartbreak, right? I mean, I would guess the majority of the women in this space feel like that. And that to me is the hands down way that I have an email list of almost 10,000 people. And that's because I have invested consistently over 10 years into Facebook ads and to growing that audience. All leaders need leads. You have to decide what way feels best for you to generate those leads. You can do it organically and you can, it's just, you have to then have such a strong mindset that I'm in it to win it. It's going to take me a little bit longer, but I can do it. And then you're looking at asking everybody you've ever served for a referral. You're looking at, again, like in-person networking, going into Facebook groups and networking. It can just take a lot longer. Now, what do you run a Facebook ad to? How do you generate the lead, right?
That was my question.
Yes, I heard you. I heard you, sister. Here's how you start with that. You think about her. This woman, now I say her because I work with women. You know, the majority of 99% of my clients are women. So I always say her. And you put yourself in her shoes. Like, this is where most marketers get it wrong. And again, like you heard me say at the beginning of this call, what is really going to make your business successful is when you learn to love sales and marketing as much as you love bringing your gift to the world. That is going to take you further than anything else. No different with you, Christine. So when you can, a good marketer, a really good, like soul to soul marketer will know, you put yourself in her shoes. What does she need? You know, what does she need that you can give her? And I would give it to her for free. Now, think about this sacred space that we are all in here together in right now, right? I am giving this guidance, this wisdom, this channeling, this energy from the bottom of my heart and from the depths of my soul for absolutely free. In fact, I paid money to have you all join me. Every time, like, I had to pay to have you come join me. Why? Because I know that being here and giving this kind of value and making this kind of connection is going to be so powerful that there are going to be some of you, probably even you, Christine, that are like, okay, I'm ready. I gotta keep going with you. I trust in the gift, and I trust in authentic advertising. It's not, I am so honest with all of my clients about where business actually comes from. Does it come from the universe? Yeah, but it also comes from Facebook ads. And I have no shame in being honest about that. I just don't, because I think when you see things in the online space and people are like, oh, I'm doing it all organically. And I'm sorry, there's something that they are not telling you about that, which is probably that back in 2010, they got the majority of their followers when it was a very different industry and market. So know her, know how she's feeling, know what she needs, know what the precursor is to working with you, and give her that value from your heart, from your soul. And I freaking promise you, she will become a paid client. Here's the other thing I'm going to say to you and everybody. All of us have a different client buying cycle. Everybody does. You might not know that right off the bat. I can tell you that my average client takes about 3 months before they buy from me. Not always. Some people buy straight from a Facebook ad. Some people don't ever. Some people it takes 6 months. Some people it takes 1 15-minute session with me. But my average is about 90 days. And my average customer, they will spend anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000 with me. And those are things that are just going to start coming as you are in your gift and start making sales and start being business savvy by paying attention to those metrics. Those metrics matter. They absolutely do.
Okay.
Helpful?
Very helpful. Yes, but lots to learn on that whole Facebook advertising piece, because you can go crazy with them.
And it could be YouTube. It doesn't, also, let me say, Facebook ads work for me because I know how to do Facebook ads. There are so many other paid advertising options. There are Google ads, there are YouTube ads, there's Instagram ads, Instagram and Facebook are pretty much the same thing. TikTok ads. I mean, there are a variety of different paid lead generation things like that out there. Think of it this way. Where can you generate the most leads? That's right out the gate what is most important for you.
Mhm.
Otherwise, who are you selling to?
Right.
Who are you inviting to work with? Who are you going to heal? Who are you going to guide? Who are you going to mentor? Who are you going to coach? You could be the greatest, most gifted psychic medium in the world. But if you don't have somebody there to hear what you have to say, it's really hard to make her an offer to work with you.
Okay. So coming up with that freebie offer is the first thing and putting it out there. Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Well, back up. You already made the first thing, which was deciding. I'm going to be brave and come forward in my gift. So congratulations on that.
Not always easy, but thank you. Yes. Yes.
I feel you.
Okay. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate it so much.
You're so welcome. Mel McIntyre, I haven't seen your gorgeous face in a while. Come forward. You're gonna love her accent. That's why. That's actually the real reason why I called that name.
Oh, how are
What can
you?
I tap
It's been
into you
so
for?
long. Say
I
again.
know.
Sorry, I'm going to sit down and settle down.
Yeah, you're good.
So, first thing I want to say is it's October, and we connected in December at one of these, I think. And you were like, October's going to be so big for you. I can see a for sale sign. I don't know if you remember all that. And you're
no
like,
idea.
I know you're working at Dream House, and this has been a complete and utter. Oh, sorry, I'm doing something strange. This has been a complete and utter breakthrough month for the house, like massively. So I just wanted to tell you about that because I thought I just wanted to validate that what you said was absolutely specifically accurate. So thank you
Oh,
for
thank you.
that.
Thank you for that. I mean, especially sometimes in these, I don't always get the you were right. I mean, I get that.
No, you were right. You
I'm
were so
grateful I
right.
get that.
And there was other things that you said as well, and you kind of said, "Look, this is your year where it all comes together. Everything that you've been working on is going to really start to kind of come to life." And I've definitely been experiencing that, and I feel like I'm on the cusp of more. You know, like more big stuff. My question is that I have this niggle that I might be missing something, and I
I got
don't
it
know
for
if
you.
it's
I'm
just
ready to tell you. Are you ready to hear it?
yeah, yes.
And it'll be interesting to see how this resonates with everybody else. What I keep hearing you say is, I'm ready to receive. Like, I'm ready, universe. I'm ready, universe. And if you are always in the state of being ready, you never actually are being. You never actually are in that energy of it's done, I am.
Yeah.
So you saying that word a lot, ready? Do you like catch yourself and maybe like just to be hyper aware after
I
this
definitely
moment?
feel like I keep like there's definitely this part of me, and I can see myself stepping in and out of what you're saying in this other space, which is like it's on the horizon and it's nearly here.
Yeah.
So, and then there's this
It's
part
this
that's like, why the
waiting,
fuck
right?
is it not here yet? Yeah, and it's that
Yeah.
space between, right? And then I'm
So
like, no, I am it. So I'm just in that really kind of crunchy place, you know?
you're no longer in the space of waiting for it. It just is.
Yeah.
And that is embodiment at its best.
Mhm.
And that is, to me, like, I think the final task, right? The final step, the final, like, when you can really just embody, like, I am, it's here, that takes you out of that waiting. I'm ready. I'm in the incubator, like that's no longer necessary and that's no longer needed. So this has nothing to do with you're missing a strategy or an idea or a program, or like none of that. This is more of the energy that you are in and the belief that you have that the action as if it already is. That's the aspect that's missing from what I'm picking up, like picked up almost immediately.
Yeah, and that's perfect. I think that's exactly it, because I definitely notice myself being in that more and more and more, but I also notice myself not being in it, and that, you know, it's just horrible, right? To notice that polarity.
But if you
and
have that
contrast.
awareness, it's not horrible. It's amazing awareness. Like, once you become aware of something, you are in your power position to shift it and change it and become it. Awareness is our greatest gift, as long as you don't stay in it, as long as you make the shift, as long as you like take that awareness and learn from it and grow from it and expand from it.
Yeah. Perfect. I think I'm definitely
The
just
other thing that is I'm hearing, and I have, again, for you and for everybody, if you take anything from this reading, please take this. You will never, ever miss what is meant for you. Ever. It'll land on your doorstep. It'll land in your inbox. It'll, like, you will never miss what is meant for you.
Yeah, and I've definitely had a little bit of doubt around that as well, because there's just been a couple of a couple of real soulmate clients that have maybe said yes or said yes, but, or sorry, said no. And it's like, what was that? Like, did that do something wrong? Because that doesn't feel right. But all of my guidance is, no, just trust it. Everything you're experiencing is exactly what you're meant to be experiencing right now. Like, there is a plan, there's divine timing. And so there's this
Yeah.
part of me going, okay, like, I trust it, but
I think
there's this other
we
little
all
niggle,
have
like,
moments like that,
yeah.
right? We all have moments like that. And what's most important is that in those moments, you can confidently go within and say, the universe knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
That gets me through some really dark moments. Like, the universe knows what it's doing.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. You're never going to miss what's meant for you. You're right where you're meant to be. Now embody it. Embody it. Embody it is going to like embed new beliefs in you.
Amazing.
And then it'll be just snap of the
Yeah.
fingers, girl.
Yeah. Thanks,
Good to see you
Amber.
again.
You too.
Nicole, hello. I see you with your cute little headset on. So this one time,
Hello.
I hosted a 3-day event. Actually, it was like almost like 4 or 5 years. I think it was like 5 years ago, this month or last. I don't know. It was like an amount of time ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And for 3 days, I got to wear this headset and stand on a stage and like do what I'm doing basically right here for 3 days. It was the best like 3 days of my life. And I see your headset and I'm like, maybe I just need to get a headset for home. Like when they took that headset away, I was like devastated. I was like, oh, I miss my headset. So it just reminded me of that. How are you? Welcome. Have you ever been here before?
Thank you. I have not. This is my first time.
Nice to meet you. Well, welcome. What can I tap into?
Thanks. So I have a normal day job, but I have about a year ago wrote my first children's book and am trying
That's
to
amazing.
kind of create a career out of that, and it has been extremely slow going and hard, and I just don't even know, I guess, if I'm on the right path.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Did you write the book because you thought the book was going to make you a lot of money, or because the idea was there, the concept was there, and you love the creative aspect of it and you love the writing of it?
The second part, because it was something I wrote for my kids that I felt like there was a gap in emotional intelligence tools for children. And so I wanted to create something. And so I did. And I guess it's kind of, I mean, I would love to make extra money off of it because that never hurts. But I also feel like it is a good tool, but I can't get it to kids or to parents to use. Like I don't, it's like I think if people had it, it could serve a bigger purpose, but I can't get it
Okay,
to
so
them.
let me ask you a different question. So of course, like we want you to be able to monetize on the book, but what if it came from you speaking? I don't think it's a coincidence that the first thing that I talked about with you was like the headset and standing on a stage, right? That's not a coincidence that I started talking about that and the universe is like pulling me full circle of like, pay attention, like I can feel it in my chest that I'm going, like the universe is taking us somewhere here on this one. It's not a coincidence I brought up that event for you. So number one, you are extremely wise and intelligent and intuitive when it does come to emotional intelligence. You know your shit, girl. So my invitation to you would be, let's get you on stages, let's get you on podcasts talking about that emotional intelligence tools for kids, or whatever your, signature talk is, your signature speech would be. And then great, at the back of the room, people can buy the book, but they can also book consultation sessions with you. Like, make money from your gift, not from the book. Like, what does a book cost?
Okay.
$20, $24. That is a low
Right.
ticket product that is going to take a shit ton of sales to get you to where you want to be. But you know what's not? Your price tag that you put on your speaking. The
Okay.
call to action that you give from a podcast of 1,000 listeners of inviting parents to join a mastermind that you host where each family pays $1,000 a month to be a part of, or whatever it might be, right? It does the tool, absolutely. The business card per se is your book, but your gift is your wisdom, your knowledge, the way you could give strategy and guidance and advice, coaching, like your service is what we put the higher price tag on, not the book, and not just like trying to get as many books out. Great. Go to your local libraries and do those things because those are fun, and do book signings, right? But to monetize it, it has, in a way, I feel like it has nothing to do with the book and everything to do with your wisdom and your
Okay.
ability to give insight to parents. Does that resonate?
That does. It does. Yes.
Have you thought of it in that term before?
I've thought about doing speaking before. I've even done a little bit of speaking at a local women in leadership conference. And I guess
How did that go?
it went well. And I've been invited back. I guess it's just a matter of I have no idea how to do it. Like I know how to get up on the stage and talk about things. I've always my whole life I've done that, but I don't know how to be like, hey, pay me to do that. Like, I don't know if it's
I
that
do.
missing.
I know how to help
Okay.
you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need to probably, and to not just give that invitation, right? But then to invite people to work with you.
Okay.
And that is the skill of sales that so many women shy away from, that I invite you to learn. Because again,
Okay.
and I've said it a few times, when you can learn to, and it doesn't come natural, right? Like I feel very grateful that I love sales and marketing. Like I love it. Like that's what I like geek out on, like it's either Game of Thrones or some like, I mean, literally some, I don't know, some business self-development book. You know what I mean? It's one of the
Right.
two for me. There's no in between. So you can learn to love it. And when you can learn to love it and you get good at it, it becomes natural. It becomes easier, and you start making money from it. You're going to feel really damn good about it.
Okay.
There is no shame in making invitations and in selling from a stage. There is no shame in selling from an online platform. There's like, that is, you are meant to be paid for bringing your gift to the world, and you're meant to be paid well for that.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, Anita, thank you for saying that. She said your face is sparkling.
Oh,
That's amazing. Thank you for saying that, Anita. Okay, let's see. Heather Danielle, that red hair. I have a thing for redheads.
I'm already getting so much piggybacking on everybody else's messages.
Good. That's what I said. Whether you come and you get hot seat time, or whether you just come to be inspired and to listen, you're gonna walk away with something.
Definitely already. Well, thank you so much. My first time here. I don't know you very well, but I already love you so much. So I can't wait to be a part of everything that you do. But I work as a psychic medium. I do one-on-one sessions. I think that I want permission not to do them. I do a podcast, 2 episodes a week. Facebook group, I do have a membership. I go live once a week. I'm wanting to put more people
Well
in my
done.
membership. And then I have a day job that's taking up way too much of my time right now. So I feel like maybe overwhelmed. I'm not sure what to do.
So, I was sitting where you were sitting 10 years ago. So just let me say that I fully understand. And I think the day that I gave my notice to my job was like the biggest moment of like relief I've ever had in my life, and the biggest holy shit, what did I just do moment of my life. Like I have been in the financial services industry for about 15 years. I had just been promoted to assistant vice president. I had just got my dream job that I had I'm talking like within a matter of 6 weeks. And I was like, I remember I told my husband, Rob, at the time, I was like, I think I'm going to go do this full time. I think I'm going to be a a psychic medium full time, and he was like, are you sure you're gonna walk away from the, like, once you leave, you're not going to be able to go back? And I was like, I'm fully aware. I'm going to give my notice. And he was like, okay, I trust you. And I gave my notice. And it was the most, and here's how I got to that decision. For me at the time, because I was still selling individual sessions, I had just started doing, I don't even think I was doing packages yet, honestly. I think I was just doing individual sessions. I realized that with my drive time to my office, and then the amount of time I was in my office, I was spending about 50-ish hours a week on my corporate career. And I reached this point where I was like, if I had 50 hours in 1 week to spend on my business, could I like generate enough sessions to just for the first 3 months, like replace my income? You know, I had a little bit of savings, not a ton, but you know, 4 kids, whatever, house, mortgage, all the things. I didn't have a ton of savings, but had a little bit of savings. So I had a little tiny little bit of breathing room, and I jumped because I just knew if I had 50 hours to serve and to sell, I could make it work. And now I'm 10 years later, and it's like the best decision it's the best thing I've ever done for myself. So I don't know what you needed to hear inside of that, except your time is so valuable. It's so valuable. And when you have that gift and when you want to serve, I don't know what you do for your full-time job, but I guarantee you the world needs you in your gifts as a psychic medium a hell of a lot more than it needs you in your other role, unless you're like a social worker, a teacher, or something like that.
Oh no, yeah. You know, I work for the federal government, and I finally just got, basically it's my dream job. I got to the place that I wanted to be, and I absolutely hate it. And I've always said too, Spirit will let me know when it's time to leave. And my job
It's
has
time.
never been so horrible. I've never ever wanted not to
It's
go
time.
to it. Now, I have a quick question. Do you think the reason why that I'm so like apprehensive, like, oh, I don't want to have to do another session, I don't want to have to do that, do you think it's just because I'm so overwhelmed with like the day job stuff
burnout.
and everything else? Like,
Yes.
I'll rekindle that
it's
love.
probably twofold. If anybody is ever feeling like, oh, I don't want to go to this session, or I don't want to get on this call, 99.9% of the time, it's a combination of two things. Number one, your prices are probably not high enough, so it's not a good energetic exchange. When you are feeling burnt out, it's because you are not being paid equally for what you are putting out.
Okay. What's the second
It's
one?
always my I don't even know if there's a second one that matters.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think you're right then.
Yeah, and I think too, like, I'll never forget, like I was just telling somebody not too long ago, I will never forget that like first week that I was like, I was full-time at home in my business. It was like, oh my gosh, just I can do, like, it just gives you a level of freedom and creative expression and space, and just it just brings a different energy to your business. It'll help you fall back in love with being in your gift. You won't feel like you gotta rush to get to the next one, or like it's the end of the day, you've already worked, 8-9 hours at your full-time job. And because I mean, I get it. I did it nights, I did it weekends. I had a new baby. Oh my gosh. I think about Riker, my little guy. He was like, I mean, he was just a few months old, and I was like nights, weekends, and working full time. Again, wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, let's see. Monica says, I'm so close to leaving my day job too. I say the same thing, Spirit. What if, ladies, for those of you that are on the fence, that are like, what if this is it? What if this is Spirit telling you right here today through the story I just told, Heather? Like, sometimes you have to jump first. I think it's really easy to get in these like comfort zones where we wait, right? We want evidence, we want proof that it's going to work, and the universe wants us to jump first. It just does. And I've never jumped and not had the universe hold me. Ever, 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 ever. I've never not had the universe catch me. I've never been like, okay, I'm going to show up to do this reading and not had my gift come through super strong. I've never been let down by the universe when I go first. Monica, do you want to come forward? Do you have your hand up? I don't know. There's like so many, I can't even like.
Sure, I would love to. Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. I really resonate with Heather's story. I don't do the same thing. I'm not a psychic medium, but I am a light worker. I am here to help the planet remember what love is. I help a lot, mainly women with stepping into their divine feminine. I'm a breathwork facilitator, shamanic healer. I do all kinds of things. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for 20 years, and that used to be my passion. And when COVID happened, they totally changed my job. And I was like, I can't do this. And I went on stress leave and I spent 12 weeks basically just healing myself from the trauma of like COVID and being in a narcissistic relationship, etc. I could go on, but and then I thought, you know what, I need to start building my business so that I can leave this 9 to 5. And then I used to love my job. So I hear you, Heather, like what she was saying and what your story is as well. Like, I used to love my job.
Same,
now,
loved it.
Yeah, loved my job. And it's like my dream job at one point, but that's an old version of myself.
Yeah.
And now this new version of myself, I bought this beautiful property out in the country so that I can serve people in a quiet location where they come and they feel relaxed and from the city life. I just finished building my studio that's attached to my house, but it's all separate. So now I'm doing yoga, all these different things over there, ready to make the jump, but I'm just like so scared. It's scary because I have a daughter in university and 2 little people, and it's just taking that leap. And like what you're saying resonates so much. It's just like, can someone light a fire under my butt or something? Like I just want to do it.
I can absolutely light that fire. That's what I do. I light fires all day long. My clients that are here will tell you I start fires all day long.
That's good.
So I think what's really, what's great about the way that the universe brings us together is that everybody is learning from each other here, right? And everybody is seeing a little bit of their story in each other. And there's something that COVID taught me, which is it activated a lot of callings.
Yeah.
It activated a lot of callings in a lot of people. And the price of not following that calling is going to be what you are putting yourself through every single day, which is a form of torture, honestly. It really is, of like when you want to be doing something and you just can't find that trust and that space of believing deeply in yourself and in your gifts to just take that leap. And it is a form of torture. And only you know how long you can put yourself through that. You have a torture tolerance, let's call it, where you're like, I can't, like, I reached that point. I remember like sitting on my bed. I remember like, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to be, your calling will be so loud. You literally can't go to that job anymore. You can't not follow the calling. It won't go away. And if it does, that's even worse. If it does, that is even worse, to lose that, to be like, man, did I lose my chance? No, I firmly do believe what's meant for you will not miss you. But when it's right there and you let it slip away, that's very different. That's very different. Honor the calling. You wouldn't have these gifts. You wouldn't have, I know sometimes it might look like everybody's doing spiritual work, right? Everybody's a spiritual life coach. Everybody's a psychic medium. Everybody's an intuitive. But ladies, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. The market is not saturated. We are needed to work our light in so many ways across this freaking planet. And you stepping into that light is always going to be rewarded. It is. I believe that wholeheartedly. And when you follow the calling, when you higher calling always is going to lead you to higher income. It just is.
Yeah.
Jump,
Thank you. Jump.
jump.
I
Jump,
literally have like crickets jumping right in my face. So I'm like, I know,
jump,
I hear you. It's time to
sir,
jump.
jump. And you know what? Give yourself like, give yourself a little bit of a runway, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I gave myself literally like, I gave a 2-week notice, and I think I ended at like day 10. I was like, I couldn't even, I was done. Give yourself a little bit more
Yeah.
of a runway, say you're giving your notice at, the beginning of the year or something like that, but
Yeah.
give yourself that. Give yourself,
For sure.
it's time to jump.
It is time to jump. And I'm a Capricorn, so I need to like plan things out a little bit, make sure like finances, because I just sunk 40,000 into a renovation, which is an investment in my business. So I'm like, okay, let's get
Well, I'm
some of
about
that.
to ask you to make one more, you and everybody, one more investment. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a new program coming out called the Lightworker Lab, where we work together consecutively for 12 weeks in a live call, and we focus on one thing: selling, getting you comfortable making sales, making invitations, and selling. Because after doing this for 10 years with women, I always feel like I'm niching and drilling down, but I am here to tell you, it is the women that know how to sell and feel confident in selling. That is the integral piece to success. It just is. You have to be welcoming people into work with you, and feeling good about it, and feeling lit up about it, and having those creative ideas, and having those like beautiful like marketing concepts out there. And it just comes down to sacred sales. It really does. And not having any shame or guilt around inviting people to work with you. And then on top of it, it's having a community of women like this around you on a weekly basis all the time, that are supporting you, cheerleading you, referring you organically, like connecting. I've done containers like this so much over the last 10 years. I mean, some of like, Tracy, didn't you guys have like wasn't there like a group of you that had like a podcast together at one point? I mean, like there are just incredible collaborations and connections that happen. And the key is that I work with light workers, and it's having that ongoing connection, working together on a weekly basis with the sole focus of sacred sales, that, man, selling with passion, selling from a place of just authenticity, and man, it is what is needed. And a lot of this isn't like a program where I teach you a certain framework. It's just not. It is every single week coming to a sacred space like this, where you have focus on you and your sales and your offers, and making intuitive invitations and attracting soul clients. Very simple. Week after week after week, we come together to focus on getting you more sales for your spiritual business. It's very simple. Also, don't make your programs complicated for people. Make it very easy for people to say yes. Yes. Jump, Monica. All right, let's see. Who else do I have here with a hand up? Carly. Hello. Did I call on you already? I feel like I called on you. No?
No, not
Nice
yet.
to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, I've got a bit of a croaky voice. My voice is going, but I'm here.
You sound fine.
Are you happy? Yeah, thank you. So yeah,
Did you have something you wanted me to tap into?
yeah, and it feels like a lot for you to sort of tap into, really. That's the problem at the moment. I have been very much in hiding for most of this year. I separated from my husband in January, and I've intentionally sort of gone into hiding just to work on myself. And it feels like the right time to kind of come back out of hiding, refocus on my business. I've still got clients, but it's just knowing that next step. I'm in brand strategy, but I feel like I do so much more with my clients. It's very intuitive, it's very soulful. I really help them to get to the soul of who they are and the soul of their brand. Yeah, it's the next step. It is the next step up. And it's like you said about not being I am, it's stepping into that. But I know I'm holding back, and it probably is a little bit of fear around burnout, which I've experienced before, about my life going up and down. And if I go down again, that I can't deliver. There's a lot of holding back. And there's a lot about identity as well with my surname as well. I don't know what to call myself because I don't like my surname. Yeah.
So first of all, I understand. I'm in the middle of a divorce, so I do understand.
Yeah.
It takes a different level of energy and focus when you're going through something like that personally, and having it not affect your business. And it's crazy to think that it's never going to affect your business, because on some level it does, right? So I do completely understand. But here's what I have really learned is that I heal the most when I serve at my highest.
Yeah.
And my personal feeling on healing is that it might seem easy and right and aligned to try to go within and go quiet while you're doing the healing, but the real healing works from serving. That's when you get the most transformation, is healing and serving at the same time. So my invitation to you is to just really like feel good and embrace that you don't have to be perfect to be coming into the world and doing your work while you're healing yourself and going through that. And most of what you're going to learn about what's next is going to come from allowing your gift to come to you and through you for your existing client. Your existing client should be telling you what's next for you inside of your business. For example, the majority of the clients that I have been working with lately, it has been like, what are you selling? What are you selling? It has just been this constant focus of, if you're not making sales, then you're not in your gift. And I want my clients in their gift, which then what led me to like my next breakthrough of like, I just need a sales accelerator, like 12 weeks with women just to help them sell. So your clients are always showing you what is next. So also take that, like you learn as much from them as they learn from you, if you are really present and you are really aware of that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Being present is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I second guess myself a lot of like my business name. It's called the Rebellious Brand Co, but I think I'm feeling drawn to calling it the Soulful Strategy Co.
Ooh, are you being rebellious? You don't feel like you're being very rebellious to me.
No, I'm not at the minute. I think that was more because of the separation. I rebranded at the time that I separated, and I think I regret that. So I think I might go more towards a Soulful Strategy company sort of name, but I don't know. That's me. I'm very much identity at the minute. I feel a little bit lost, but this is helping.
When you are with your clients, do you have clients you're working with currently?
Yes.
The next time you have a client session, I want you to get incredibly present.
Yeah.
And really think about, inside of that moment that you are super present with her, what is your process there? What are you actually providing her? What are you actually giving her? And on top of that, what is she asking for? Your next offer, your next evolution of your brand is going to be right there. You're in the middle of a brand formation yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And it gets uncomfortable because we just want the clarity to come. We just want the answers to come. But sometimes it's in that space that like, man, is there good magic brewing?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what
So
I feel. I'm getting impatient.
Yeah, but patience equals abundance.
Yeah.
It really does. So even though it's a little uncomfortable, it's a little sticky, I promise you the clarity comes from the current clients you're serving.
Yeah. And I can feel that. I definitely feel that with one client, especially. She's a soul client and I get so much from her. So yeah, I'll tune into that. Thank you.
You're so welcome. see, I have time for a couple more here. Let's see, Stacy Sadek. Hi.
Yay! So this is
Hello.
love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. Nice to meet you. What can I
Oh.
tap into for you?
I feel like a fraud. And I have
Mm.
an amazing business mindset because I've been in corporate. Didn't know I was spiritual until I was in my 30s. But I feel like I've pivoted so many times, different niche, different offers.
Mhm.
And this last, it's like, well, I could help people hire people. Like I could show them how to attract and hire them, but I'm missing something. And I
Mm.
think it's the spirituality aspect of who I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so a couple things. So the first thing I want to talk about is the pivot, okay? The purpose pivot is one of the like greatest experiences you will ever have, even though in the middle that you're going through it, it feels like things are falling apart. They're not. It's just a purpose pivot, and they are an integral piece to like putting you on the path that is most aligned for you. If I had to count how many different pivots I have had inside of my life and inside of my, oh my gosh, girl, like it, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't even know how many. Like, and when you can maybe even think of it as less of a pivot and more of an evolution, which is what you're here to do, embrace it. Like, I love it. It means you're transforming. It means you're turning like ceilings into floors is really what you're doing. And a long time ago, all of us probably here inside of this group, when we were little, we were asked what we wanted to be when we grow up, and we were expected to give this one freaking answer. And that is like the start of so many issues is that nobody is here to be or do just one thing. We are meant to evolve. We are meant to have multiple soul purposes, multiple soul purposes, multiple soul purpose pivots. So don't feel like an imposter because you have those. Feel honored and gifted and grateful that you honored those pivots, because let me tell you, the people that don't, Stacy, are miserable. They have been in the same roles, the same jobs, the same things over and over and over. They live like Groundhog's Day, and they are wishing for what you're wishing, which is, I wish I didn't pivot so much. And they're like, I wish I had the bravery inside of me to go pivot. So let's
I
start
just
there.
don't even know what to focus on. Or if right now is the right time. Maybe I'm meant to take a break. I have no idea.
What's calling to you?
So I had a couple groups. One was the strategic business mom. The other one was a spiritual group where I pulled cards. I helped them with getting unstuck. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Combining them. Because I like coaching.
So what's the problem? It seems pretty clear to me. Does it seem pretty clear to everybody else? You want to do intuitive business guidance, spiritual guidance for business owners. Pretty clear. You're just scared to follow the call. They're different.
Yeah.
The clarity is actually there. It's just taking the leap. Of course you're scared. How could you not be scared?
I haven't always been known to be spiritual either, right? So yeah.
Yeah. I was an assistant vice president of a financial institution here in the Twin Cities for almost 15 years. I was not spiritual at all. Like, until all of a sudden, I literally went to see a psychic because I was seeing my dead father-in-law walk around my house and I was freaked out. Went to see a psychic. Why is this happening to me? And she said, don't you understand? You're supposed to do what I do. And I had the weirdest thing ever happen. I looked at her and I said, "Oh yeah, I remember now." It was bizarre. It's still the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me. And in that 1 second, my entire life changed. Within days, I was doing readings at my kitchen table for people I'd never met before, connecting them with their past loved ones. I mean, it was insane. Within a couple weeks, I was doing group readings, like in people's homes with like 10, 15 family members. And within a couple months, I was like reading like rooms, auditoriums with like 100 plus people. It was amazing. So when you follow that calling, the universe will respond. I can't remember what I said earlier, but like when you follow the higher calling, the higher income will always come.
And you called it intuitive spiritual mentor? No, what did you say?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll have to go
It
back.
came to me and through me for you. I won't remember probably like 90% of this session.
And I heard this is what you missed to do, doesn't it? Isn't it? Like I just heard that.
Like what
So,
I've like basically like what you've experienced here. Being able to use your love of business, your love of serving, your gifts of like spiritual guidance, blend them all together. You don't have to separate them, but you do have to follow the calling.
oh, I needed that today.
Yeah, girl, I got you.
That was the best birthday present today, just to let you know.
Happy birthday.
That was like the loving, like, you're 40 now, sit or get off the pot. The time is now. I needed that. So thank you.
I think the word of the day is jump.
Yeah. And who cares what others think?
Oh, I could care less.
Yeah.
It's my greatest, like, it's my greatest gift. And sometimes also like maybe my greatest area where I need to learn. I just don't care. Their opinion of me has nothing to do with me and everything to do with them, especially when it comes to doing what I love and loving what I do.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. All right, let's see. I got time for one more. Brienne, hello. So nice to meet you. Oh, shoot. Did I scare you away? We got to unmute you, girl. I don't know if we can hear you. Yeah, jump is like my favorite word of the day. I'll give you a second to try to figure out. I'm going to go to Eliana. Is it? Did I say that right? Okay, come forward. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, Amber. My name is Eliana. I've been following you for some time now, and I love your spirit, your energy always brights my day up to receive your emails and teachings, and I love it.
Thank you.
I have been struggling. Well, I think we met like maybe a year ago, around same time, around like about a year ago. I was very clouded and didn't feel like I had clarity. Now, fast forward to today, I feel a lot better. As far as where I am, I've gained a lot more confidence in helping, and I felt like I was in a time period where I did feel burnt out, and the burnt out caused me to not want to give it my all when helping clients. And I work in the real estate industry. I really have a passion for finances and organization. And I think where I'm stuck is trying to increase my income with maybe putting both of those things that I'm really good at together and coming up with packages for clients. I feel like in the real estate industry, sometimes the process can be too convoluted. I also do have a passion for helping small business owner build up and establish their business credit, which also taps into another realm of financing. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of having trouble on how to kind of combine and increase my income with putting all those things and making it to
So
like a
one
really
thing
good
that I would,
balance.
the first thing that's coming up for me is a lot of times people want to have all of their dots connect. Okay. And some dots are just not meant to connect, or not meant to connect like in the way that you think in the moment they need to be connected. For example, you know, I have a past client. She's an animal intuitive. She does astrology. She likes to paint. There's like 3 or 4 different things. And she's like, but how do I put all of it together? Some things are just not meant to be together. It doesn't mean that you can't sell all of them. It doesn't mean that you can't give time and energy and focus to all of them. But sometimes when you're trying so hard to make them all come together is where the overlap is just not meant to happen. So that's the first thing I'm picking up on right away is don't worry so much about having all of the dots connect as much as it is how much you love each dot on its own. I have a lot of clients that have multiple businesses, and sorry, there's like a gnat or something. And I have a client that does hypnotherapy, and she's just now getting her real estate license. She's not going to have a hypno real estate business, right? Like it's just not, it doesn't have to connect. The dots don't always have to connect as long as you love all of the dots that you are in. And that's what you have to evaluate is just because you're good at something. This is also, again, probably for you and for everybody, just because you're good at something and can make money at something it doesn't mean that that's meant for you, right? It doesn't mean that that's the thing for you. Just because like, what is it that like, here's where you're going to make your most profit from what you're most passionate about. Out of everything you brought forward, there is an area there that you are just lit up, turned on, passionate for. That is the dot to focus on.
Okay.
Which one is that?
I really love the organizational side of things, and I've had like a few friends kind of even reached out to me and have said, oh, you know, can you give me advice about organizing? And I could go on and on. Like I love organizing like
So where's the
files, like
limiting belief? What's the limiting belief? Because the limiting belief is what's keeping you from being in your magic.
Okay.
What's the limiting belief? You can't make money from it. You don't know how to get started. You don't know how to charge. What is the limiting? There's a limiting belief there. And if you don't know in that moment, that's okay. My invitation to you is to, what did I say yesterday? I said it in a live stream inside of the power. I said, the magic is in the monster. And what I mean by that is the monster that you're avoiding, you're not looking at, the mindset monster, all of your magic is there. And like seeing that monster is not a monster at all. Finding the limiting belief that's keeping you from being in your gift and in your passion, man, it might take a little bit of digging, but once you can dig to find the truth of that, it is going to literally set you free into freedom. It's going to push you into freedom, financial freedom, creative freedom. That's what we're looking for here. Dig there, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
It might be a little messy, but dig there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Brienne, let's get you unmuted this time. Hello, hello.
Hi, I fixed it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
It's funny because I'm picking up my daughter from school, so I've been like living life, like doing everything while I'm listening to this. So now I'm just getting her from school. So of course the mute button would not work then. It was kind of meant to be to walk in the door with that. So anyway, I started a past life regression hypnosis business based from Dolores Cannon, so her method.
Okay.
And it's kind of hard getting clients that want to pay for it. It's like, oh yeah, I want one. I want to sketch.
Uh-oh.
So
We
sorry.
lost
So in the
you again.
beginning, we had to do free sessions, and now that everybody's like, "Oh, you don't have free sessions anymore because you're done with training," they don't really want it. So that's kind of like, how do I get them to want to come and pay for it? So my husband, doesn't hate me for doing a free business.
Yes. Yes, we all have for-profit business here, not nonprofit. So number one is I do believe in the power of showcasing your gifts, right? For example, today I have had, I don't even know, I think between 75 and 80 people come in and out of this call throughout the hour and a half here. And the majority of what I give away, and this is my strategy that has worked for me for 10 years, is I give about 90, if you know me, and if you guys, for those of you that have followed me, you know this is true. I give about 90% of my content away for free. I do group calls, I do workshops, master classes, emails, free courses. I have a content vault where you can access tons of like past calls I've done. I give about 90% of everything away for free because I believe in the value, and that when I am developing a relationship with people, at some point when they see that value, they are going to want to go to the next level with me.
Okay.
I believe in that. I
Okay.
believe in that as my business model, and that strategy has worked well.
Okay.
So don't think that just because you do something for free for somebody doesn't mean they don't find value in that.
Okay, because I have some free and I have some being paid, but I feel like most of them were just only where, oh, you charge now, okay, we're done. Like that's
So the people that you did the free sessions for, did you invite them to work with you?
Yes, and a lot of them were word of mouth. So people would be like, oh, she did really good. Like at first I did, or I have Instagram.
I'm losing you, Brienne. I'm sorry. I mean, what I mean by, I'm going to mute you because it's kind of distracting with you walking and talking. So I'm going to mute you, and just so everybody can kind of get something from this. So what I mean by, did you invite them to work with you, is did you say, okay, Brienne, it was so, let me give you an example here. Brienne, it was so nice to meet you today. I truly loved working with you and channeling for you and connecting with you. I would love for you to continue your work with me in this way. What I'd like to invite you into is this 3-month package where we're going to meet together on a weekly basis and do these past life regressions, getting you to the place of healing, peace, and comfort that you are most desperately seeking. Through these sessions and through our continued connection, you're going to continue to have breakthrough. You're going to have clarity. You're going to have confidence. You're going to see things starting to change in your everyday life. The investment for us to work together for these 3 months is $3,000. And I can break that into 3 equal monthly payments for you if you would like. That is what it means to work with me. Being able to and I have no idea what you sell, but being able to comfortably and confidently speak and know that your value that you are bringing to this potential client by bringing your gift to them, by bringing your brilliance, your zone of magic to them, it's going to change their life. Why would they not want to buy from you? That is what feels like to me is probably missing from it all. Because even though they wanted something for free, people buy what they know is going to give them a transformation, a breakthrough, whatever it might be. People buy.
Okay. I just gotta wait and do all the steps. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right. I just want to thank each and every, I hope you guys love this. So if you're new to me, I hope you guys love this. It was so nice connecting with you. For those of you that came into the hot seat, I'm so appreciative of me being able to use my gift for you. I'm looking forward to stay connecting with you. So you're on my list now if you're here. Watch for some emails coming out about the Lightworker Lab and other things that I have going. And to 333. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I saw a couple fun numbers there. And if you have, just watch for some emails. I'm going to send out the replay if you want to watch it again. And I'm also going to include a link if you want to connect with me and learn about ways that I can serve you and your business. Would be so honored to do so. So enjoy the rest of your day. Go be in your magic and follow that higher calling, ladies. Go jump.